Hello everybody, I'm here with Daniel. We will talk about the problem that occurred with the oil spill in Santander. I do some question for you. Um, can you tell me what are you doing or what do you study?
Alright, I'm a petroleum engineer. I graduated 3 years ago from Universidad Industrial de Santander, and currently I'm working for the Agencia Nacional de Hidrocarburos. Right now I'm working for the royalties department, so it means that I've worked for the government and most of my experience is about it.
Okay, Daniel. I do some question for you, and the first is, how do you define crude oil and what are its characteristics?
When you talk about crude oil, it means that you are talking about a natural resource, comes out from the earth, but it also have a lot of minerals, it has water, so we're talking about a mix. Obviously there are different types of it. You can talk about light oils and heavy oils, but the most popular are gonna be the light oils because you can get from them the fuel oils like gasoline.
The second question is, what effects does crude oil have on ecosystems?
Alright, it depends a lot about the question because if you're talking about the oil spills, obviously it's going to have a really big effect. Alright, so if we are talking about spills, we are talking about hydrocarbons, and it means they have a toxic effect on the ecosystems. So obviously it is going to affect, if it is a river, not only the fish but also people who is working with them, who sell them for a living. And it is not to talk about pollution because the air is also going to be a problem there. And if you also talk about the solution, sometimes you need to use a lot of chemicals, and even though they kind of fix the problem, we cannot forget that they also affect the ecosystem because chemicals anyway, they are strong for the environment.
The next, why do you think the oil spill happened?
Well, Jose, that's really difficult to define because in this kind of industry there are always different kind of risks, and it means that eventually some of them can occur as this one, the Lizama accident that we are talking about. We could say that it was a combination of different factors or circumstances. Most likely there are a lot of human mistakes on this, but also, as I told you, we cannot predict about the behavior of this kind of fluids. Sometimes, even though we already have all the barriers for any kind of problem, here we are dealing with big chemical and mechanical issues. So it means there are big pressures on here, there are also a lot of chemical reactions. So we could try to avoid this kind of situations, but on here, and according to my perspective, it should have been more effort on the maintenance, on the engineer applied, because they already told to the public it was a problem in the casing of the oil well.
Okay, thanks. Number four is that, what do you think about the absence and lack of responsibility that Ecopetrol presents on this situation?
Well, Jose, the thing is that obviously it is really difficult to accept the responsibility about this kind of facts. Since you already know Ecopetrol is a government company, and once they realize Ecopetrol actually has the fault about this and they didn't follow the right procedures, they should be punished since in their hands they have this big treasure of our nation. So what is important right now is that they put hands on this right away, they keep working on that, because once it happened, I think it's not so important right now to blame people, but to try to fix it.
Okay, the next, what happens if the situation is not treated or controlled?
If you talk like that, it means that there is not gonna be an end for this situation. When you talk about big disasters, they occur, they really hurt the nature because they are not stopped as soon as they happen. So when this kind of accidents occur, it means that people have to go right away because there is no way to give back to the planet. So every second count on this. When you don't stop it right away, there is going to be a lot of damages and there is no going back for them.
And the last question is, what will be the most optimal solution for you in this situation?
So as we talked before, we need to do something immediately. Also, since it already happened, we need to have experts also trying to prevent new damages, new kind of accidents that can occur in the future, because this is not an isolated sample of a problem. Most likely they could be oil wells that has the same kind of structure and probably the same kind of damage. So people need to study right now what is happening there, and if there is any option or possibility that it can occur again.
Yeah. Okay, that's it. Thank you for your time. Um, Thank you for helping me with this interview.
All right, so thanks to you, Jose, and have a good day.
Bye for all them. Expect to see you in a next opportunity. Bye.